Hey peeps, welcome back to my channel. My name is Drusilla Shay, if you don't know already. And in today's video, we are going to be talking about the 5 wardrobe essentials you're going to need if you are a commuter. I have a lot of experience commuting to school, to work, and there's quite a few things that I picked up along the way that I think are going to be very essential if you are wondering what you should have as a commuter. So we're about to get into it, but before we do, just know that I will be counting down. So from the least crucial to what I would say is the most crucial to have as a commuter. So you definitely want to make sure that you stay tuned until the end. Let's get into it. Now this one is for my ladies. What you want to have in your arsenal is a hat specific for rain. You might be thinking, oh, it's obvious you need a hat when it's gonna rain, but not just any hat. There's this hat from Hair Bella, and no, this is not sponsored. Now a lot of times as commuters, obviously you look at the weather, you check the forecast, you want to see if there's going to be rain ahead. But sometimes the forecast isn't always accurate, and as you get closer to the day, it gets more accurate, and sometimes there is just unforeseen rain. So it's really good to be prepared to have these hats for rain. Now, why are these specific hats so special? If you have a regular hat on your head, let's say you have a beanie, depending on your style, it could mess up your hair. It can mess up your style. So by the time you get to your actual destination, let's say you're going to work, you're already going to be starting off the day not great because you probably don't look your best. Now, the great thing about these hats is they're pretty much almost like a bonnet and hat mixed together. So it's built in a way to protect your hair and protect your style. And it also has a visor in the front, so it's also covering your face. Saying all that to say that these hats in particular, I find are very, very important for commuters because some commuters also have to walk quite a distance between their transportation and their final destination. So if that's you and you feel like an umbrella is not going to be good enough to keep your hair intact, then you want to invest in one of these rain hats. Next up on the list, we have either sunglasses or transitional lenses. Having sunglasses or transitional lenses is great to have because if you're standing outside for a long time and it's really sunny, especially if it's in the middle of the summer, it can be a lot. Sometimes you just need a little bit of a protective barrier and you just need something to kind of shade your eyes. Just even do something as simple as look at your phone, okay? Check the time, check when your bus or your train is coming. But if you're going to be standing outside for a while, things like this get very inconvenient. Now, especially if you are going to be driving, this is a really big deal because the sun can be so in your face and strong sometimes that it can feel a little bit blinding. And so this is where sunglasses are really, really important to have because you want to see the car ahead of you. You might want to just keep some sunglasses in your car so that it's not something you have to try to remember to pack with you. I personally have transitional lenses, so I don't really gotta worry about that stuff. But if you're the type to have just like multiple glasses and one of your glasses happens to have transitional lenses, I would suggest that for your commutes. And lastly, there are some people whose eyes are just super sensitive to light. You definitely want to wear sunglasses or have sunglasses with you when you're commuting. Coming in at number 3, this is so important and I want y'all to learn from me. Most commuters carry a bag or bags, okay? We low-key turned into the bag lady. But if you are going to be wearing a bag or holding a bag, especially on your shoulders, you want a bag that has good handles and a bag that gives you good support. When I was younger and I started commuting to school, I would always want to wear like these cute little one shoulder bags. It didn't matter, you know, how thin the handle was. It didn't matter the construction or anything. I just wanted to look cute. And so I was buying all sorts of bags that didn't give me any support. It would dig into my shoulder. And I would have like so many books in this bag that it would even start like weighing down on my shoulder and causing like neck pain, back pain. And I didn't care because I was young and I just wanted to look cute. But eventually it caught up to me and, you know, I had to start investing in things like cute book bags. Now, I'm not saying that book bags are always going to match the fit because honestly it does not. However, there are bags that double as book bags and also one shoulder bags or bags that you can just hold with your hands. So you want to also invest in something like that because book bags are not always going to match the fit. But if you have a bag that is versatile, then you'll be able to switch off between maybe just wearing it on one shoulder and wearing it on 2 shoulders or just wearing it in your hand. And so at the end of the day, just get a bag that supports you well, especially if you're going to be carrying a lot of weight. Let's say you're carrying around your laptop and a book, or let's say you're carrying around your lunch in that bag or your extra pair of shoes, whatever it is. You want to make sure that during your commute, you're not putting extra strain on your back or your shoulders. You don't want it to catch up to you like it did to me. We are about to continue to these top 2 points that you definitely want to stay tuned for. But before we do, make sure that you press that red subscribe button, okay? Don't play these games. You've been tuned in this whole time, okay? Join the family and press that bell notification button so that anytime I post, you will be up to date. All right, y'all, moving on to number 2. All right, so number 2, y'all, I have had quite the ordeal with this. So again, learn from me. You want to make sure as a commuter, you have comfortable shoes. I'm not saying you need to get like orthopedic shoes. And I'm definitely not saying that you have to compromise style or fashion or aesthetic just for comfort. However, what I am saying is that you also don't want to compromise comfort just for fashion. It's not worth it. I've done that one too many times and ended up with sore feet, a corn trying to grow here, a bunion trying to grow there. Thank God he has delivered my feet. However, I do not want that for y'all. In case your shoes are even just a slight bit uncomfortable or a slight bit smaller, do not wear them during your commute. Something that starts off as just slightly uncomfortable becomes increasingly uncomfortable, and by the time the day has ended, you are probably going to be screaming and so ready to take your shoes off. You want shoes that are comfortable, not only in terms of the spacing in the front and the spacing on the sides, but you also want to make sure that it gives you good support, okay? Some of these shoes are way too flat for commuting, where it's not giving you any support at all under your feet. And eventually that can become very uncomfortable. Even if you can have a little bit of a cushion, great. If you have shoes that are really flat and you can add an insole, do that, because you want to save your feet from having issues in the future. If anything is slightly uncomfortable, or even if it's a heel, girls, let's talk about this one. One too many times have we struggled with heels just to look cute, whether it's a skinny heel or whether it's a chunky heel but it's taller. If you feel like there's a slightest chance that eventually you will get uncomfortable in those heels, please pack a change of shoes. The good thing about commuting is you can always wear a comfortable shoe while commuting, and then if you want to wear a little fashionable Louboutins or whatever you want to wear during the workday, during the school day, wherever you're going, then you can always switch it out, okay? And then when you're done, switch back to your comfortable shoes. There's been some times, y'all, where I have gone to work and I wore, like, you know, maybe 3.5-inch heel boots, and it wasn't skinny. It was definitely always a chunky heel, but by the end of the day, it's just like my feet were screaming, my back hurt, okay, just because I'm like walking in these arches all day. And I wouldn't pack a change of shoes because I just thought I had it like that. But I did not have it like that. I would be looking funny walking home by the end of the day. So don't do it to yourself, okay? Especially if you're a commuter, especially if you have a longer commute. And if you're the one that commutes with a car, you're at an advantage because you can just wear your comfortable shoes to your car, go to your destination, and before you get out of your car, wear your cute shoes so nobody gotta sniff it out. Now, this last tip or this last item has been such a game changer, and that is a large warm scarf. Whether it's a wool scarf, you know, whether it's a fur scarf, whatever you fancy, okay? It has to be large. And the reason why is because the larger it is, the more versatile it is. You can use it for so many things. I'm gonna tell you this, okay? I have used my large scarves to drape my neck, obviously to keep my neck warm, and that's what most people use it for. However, it's something that when you go to the office or you're going to your work site, you can actually open it up and use it as a blanket. Unless you're working from home, you're gonna be going to a destination where you can't always tell what the temperature is gonna be. You can't always predict what the environment is going to feel like, because it can be in the middle of the winter and they're still blasting AC in these buildings, okay? So you just need to be prepared. And the great thing about this is that you're wearing a scarf on your neck and it can double as so many things. So it's not like you necessarily have to bring an extra sweater along. No, you're wearing your scarf and that can also double as your sweater / your blanket, okay? And if you're a woman, let's say you're wearing a skirt and you have on tights and maybe you start getting a little bit chilly, you can always drape that scarf over your legs and also keep it warm. Now, this is an extra tidbit for those who may be commuting with long train rides or long bus rides. Listen, that same big old scarf, you wrap that joint up and use it as a pillow. At least you're gonna have something to cushion your head. So in case you fall asleep, you're not bopping and hitting that window. If you know, you know. The great thing about big scarves is that they are handy year round, because in the summertime, you go on buses or trains or the office building, and there's so much AC that you go from being extremely hot outside to freezing within like 30 minutes. Then you have the fall months and you have the winter months that are just naturally colder. And like I said, some places still use the AC even in those cold months. So it's just a great thing to have in general, no matter what season that you're in. Alrighty, y'all, so that is it for this video. Now, I do have quite a few ideas on what to pack in your commuter bag, but I need to know that y'all are interested in that kind of video. So if you are interested in me making that kind of video, go ahead and leave it down in the comments. Now, if you found this video helpful, please go ahead and let me know by giving me a thumbs up, and let me know in the comments what kind of things you feel are essential as a commuter. While you're at it, as I mentioned, please go ahead and press that red subscribe button, okay? And press that bell notification button so that anytime I post, you'll be up to date. God bless you, and I will catch y'all in my next video next Sunday. Deuces.